Thank you, sir.
Hi, Javed. Myself, Prashant Kumar.
Hi, Prashant. Good morning.
Good morning. First of all, thank you so much for doing this. We don't get these kind of things very often, even though there are a lot of PhD holders. But yeah, I have 11 years of experience, and most of my experience is in analog circuit design. I've been started with the service company, then moved to a product company, and then this kind of journey. So my question is, I'm interested in part-time PhD. So what are all the options I can explore? That's my first question. If you can briefly address the subject.
In India or abroad?
India.
India. See, part-time PhDs are offered by many universities. You can apply to them, talk to the faculty who is offering a part-time PhD and take it forward. Now, there are two important things that you'll have to consider. One, part-time PhD, you will have challenges because you have a full-time job that you have to finish. You will have deliverables, you will have execution. That will have a lot of focus. PhD in itself is a full-time work. Okay, now you will be holding two full-time works, but doing one in a shorter time duration. Sorry, what I mean, shorter time allocated every day for it than a full-time PhD, right? And your timeline also is there. Now you will have to understand which universities offer you a part-time PhD. There are many. In fact, I mentor a lot of part-time PhD students. They are available. For example, in Bangalore, we have many universities. Hyderabad, we have many universities. Pune, we have universities. Gurgaon, Noida, we have universities who are offering. Most of them being private universities. Government universities, if you would look like, it then depends upon what are the rules and regulations that they have and what is the thing. There is a part-time PhD option in IAC at least, there are two entry methods. One thing is called an external registration program, ERP. This is the preferred mode for industry people. So what is the requirement is you have a faculty at IAC, then you have a PhD holder internal guide at your organization. Okay. So now these two people will be your guides or advisors, okay, for part-time PhD. Now the roles of these people are defined according to the university, but now is to be eligible for you to do that, you need to have served in the current company for a certain duration. And at least the Indian Institute of Science, some rule says that you must stay in the same company till you graduate, and the PhD advisor that you have should be there with you in the same company, and the company should be willing you to pay your regular salary along with your work. So that is called an external registration program. Okay. In that you have an option where you have to work, come here for doing the coursework for I think 1 or 2 semesters or maybe 3 semesters you have to come. That is one.
Okay.
Now there is something called a quality improvement program. This is for faculty members. So people who are doing, who have finished their masters, they can apply for a PhD under the quality improvement program. And under that, you get, I think, 6 to 7 years to complete your PhD, wherein the similar rules apply. That you should be getting a full salary, you should be on rolls with the college, right? You should have an advisor at the college level, you will have an advisor at the IAC level. I'm giving IAC because I know about IAC or have met or interacted with these two categories of people. So that they will do, and then you will continue your PhD as well. So your milestones for delivery will be a little relaxed if you are ERP or QIP because you're doing it part-time. Now, whether a faculty will offer it is left to them, because typically the amount of energy invested by a advisor at IAC for a part-time student may not be able to extract a lot of work during the second half of the PhD, because you will have too many things to handle with, right? and you may be bound by the company time also. So a faculty may or may not find you to be the ideal PhD student as compared to a full-time PhD. But
Okay.
if your performance is not coming down and you are able to perform at par of the full-time, I don't think there is anything to stop your progress, anything to hinder your activity. Faculties will be more than ready to involve your work.
Okay. One connected question, you mentioned about ERP. For this, okay, what I can say homework I need to do from my side to be part of the ERP program?
First thing is you should get nominated.
Like, is there an entrance exam and is there?
You need to be nominated by your industry.
Okay.
Right? They should nominate you.
Okay.
Okay. After you nominate, you identify a faculty in the host institute who will take you. So that is the homework that you have.
Okay.
Along with that,
okay,
you may have to write an exam at your industry level. I'm not sure at the IAC level, but you will definitely be called for an interview.
Okay.
Okay.
Understand. Okay.
Yes.
So one more question. For example, whatever you mentioned about day-to-day execution in our organization. So there we face a lot of problems, but how to identify those problems are sufficient to address and solve them, and I can take the solution as a part of my PhD work.
Again, that is again left to the company that you're working with. If there are some IP issues, you need to first resolve the IP issues at your company level and then take it forward. So if you want to do your industry level solution, then you need to have approvals on both sides and ensure that IP, who owns the IP, who keeps the IP, that if you have resolved it, then you can use that solution.
Okay. So you mean to say like it will go hand in hand? So from the faculty side and from the industry side also, we'll get to know what kind of problem is this and how much big is this problem, and it can be a part of the PhD as a solution. So that will be decided.
Yes, you will have to at least draw a skeletal draft of what is going to be your PhD work and give it to your industry so that they understand that whether it is going to be conflicting with your work or it will be a different work. Sometimes faculty will recommend that don't do your industry work so that it doesn't conflict, or you are not waiting in the approval loop. So there will be a clear mutual exclusion. But if there is a industry is sponsoring all of you and saying, why don't you go solve this problem as a PhD? Then it really makes more sense to use the industry's problem, find the solution, and then go back to the industry and present that solution.
Okay. Okay. Last question from my side. Do we have in Intel this external PhD support option?
I will take this offline and let you know. I know why you're asking.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.